Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to my new lecture. Today is the fifth lecture of geometrical optics. Right? In today's class, we will discuss some problems related to mirror formula, and we will also study longitudinal magnification and velocity of image in spherical mirrors. Right? So let's start with the class. So in this question, it is given that there is an object here, there is a concave mirror and there is a plane mirror. The separation between them is 25 centimeter. We need to find the final position of the image after 3 successive reflections, taking first reflection on mirror 1. Right? So for mirror 1, the object distance is minus 15 centimeter. Right? The focus is minus 10 centimeter. Why minus? Because it is a concave mirror, right? And why minus here? Because the object is in front of the optical instrument, right? So V is equal to UF by U minus F. That will be equal to minus 15 into minus 10 divided by minus 15 minus of minus 10, and that will be equal to 150 divided by minus 5, and that will come out to be minus 30. So the image is formed at a distance minus 30, right? Minus 30. All right. Okay. That means this will be the position of the image I1, right? Now this I1 will act as object for this plane mirror, right? So I'll write I1 will act as object for plane mirror. Okay, so this I1 is a real image and it will act as object for plane mirror. That means what? Listen carefully. I'll draw the ray diagram here to show you what is happening. Okay, so from here, one ray, if you draw like this, obviously it will reflect back, right? It will retrace its path. And one more ray, if I draw, see, the radius of curvature is some center of curvature is somewhere here. So if I draw a ray like this, it will reflect like this. Okay. Now this light, this reflected light and this reflected light was intersecting at this point. Okay, it wanted to intersect at this point. But because there is a mirror here, so that is why this ray we will draw it with dotted lines. Okay, why? Because it wanted to go there but it cannot go there. Why it cannot go there? Because it is intercepted by a mirror. So that means I1 act as a virtual object for the plane mirror. So I'll write this I1 acts as a virtual object, for the plane mirror. Okay. Now for virtual object, a plane mirror forms a real image, right? So the plane mirror will form a real image. I'll draw the ray diagram again. So here I will draw the ray diagram. This is the reflected ray and this is the reflected ray and this is the image. This is I2, and you also know that I1, this distance will be equal to this distance. Why? Because object distance is equal to image distance in case of a plane mirror, right? So this is I2. Now this distance was 30, right? This distance was 30 because image was formed at 30 centimeter. If this distance is 25, that means this distance is 5. And if this distance is 5, that means this distance is 5, right? Now this ray is not ending here, right? It is falling again. It is falling again on this surface, right? So I2 again acts as a real object for the concave mirror. So I'll write, why real object? Because it is in front of the optical instrument, right? Okay. So I'll write here I2 acts as real object, real objects. If anybody is having any problem in understanding the concept of real object and real image, please refer back to my second lecture where we have discussed the definition of object and image. And if still you could not understand, please post or write it in the comment section. Okay, I2 acts as real object for the concave mirror. So for this concave mirror, let us see what is the object distance. See, this object obviously is in front of the optical instrument, so this is negative. So and this distance is how much? If this is 25, this is 5, this is 20. So I'll write u is equal to minus 20. U is equal to minus 20 and f is equal to minus 10. Clearly you can see that object is at 2f. So image will be at 2f. So instead of solving, I will directly write v is also equal to minus 20. Right? So if v is equal to minus 20, that means the third image is also formed at this point only. I2, comma I3 I will write. Okay. Both I2 and I3 are at this point. Okay. Both I2 and I3 are at this point. Right? Okay. So the final answer will be the final image is formed at a distance 20 centimeter from the concave mirror and 5 centimeter from the plane mirror. Right? Okay then. In this question, again you have to do the same thing. We need to find the final image after 3 successive reflections, taking first reflection at mirror 1. So this is the mirror 1 according to the question. This is the mirror 1, right? So according to this, we need to find the final image. So for first, you will see that for mirror 1, u is minus 15, f is minus 10. In the last question only we solve this, we will get v is equal to minus 30. Right? So if v is equal to minus 30, then the image formed is here. Okay, and this distance is 5 centimeter. Why? Because if this is 30, this is 25, then this is 5. Okay, now this is a convex mirror because the light after reflection will strike the outside portion. That means it is a convex mirror. Okay, so for convex mirror, for M2, I1 is object, right? I1 is object for M2 and it is actually a virtual object. Why? Because it is behind M2. Light is incident in this side and object is behind. Okay, so you will say that I1 is virtual object for M2. So if you write u, you will say u is plus 5. Focus is plus 10. Then v is equal to uf by u minus f. You will get 5 into 10 divided by 5 minus 10 and that will be equal to 50 by minus 5, that is minus 10. So from this you get v is equal to minus 10, right? So minus, again minus means what? Minus means front and means real. Okay, so final image is real. So this image is real. So image is formed at minus 10, right? Minus 10, that means here. So this is I2. But again this I2 acts as an object for mirror M1. Okay, so I2 acts as object for M1 and it is real object. Why? Because it is in front of the optical instrument. This is the optical instrument, it is in front of the optical instrument. So I'll write I2 is real object for mirror 1. I2 is real object for mirror 1. So you will say u is equal to, see, this is, if this distance is 10 centimeter, if this distance is 10 centimeter, right, in that case you will say that this is 15 centimeter. Okay, right? Now if this is 15 centimeter, that means what? That means that I2 is in the position of object only. Okay, because total distance is 25. If this is 10 centimeter, if this is 10 centimeter, then I2 is in the position of object only, right? So I'll say this is I2. Okay, now if this is I2, then actually this distance is again 15 centimeter. So object distance is again 15 centimeter. Focus is again minus 10. So this time again you will get v is equal to minus 30 when you solve using the mirror formula. So that means this is the position of the image 3 as well. This. Okay, so the final image is, you can say, 5 centimeter behind the convex mirror. Okay, so this is the final image position, right? Okay, then the next question is, find the coordinates of the image of the object which is placed at P. Okay, find the coordinates of image of point P. Okay, formed after two successive reflections. So this time you have to see two successive reflection in situation as shown in the figure, right? Considering the first reflection at the concave mirror and then at the convex mirror. So this is mirror 1 basically. Okay. So if this is mirror 1, so for mirror 1, this time what will you write? For mirror 1, u is equal to minus 20 centimeter, u is equal to minus 20 centimeter, f is equal to minus 15 centimeter. Why minus 15? Because it is a concave mirror. So if you use v is equal to uf by u minus f, you will get minus 20 into minus 15 divided by minus 20 plus 15. Why plus 15? Because minus of minus 15 will be plus 15. So from this you will get 20 into 15 divided by minus 5. So from this you will get v is equal to 53, that is minus 60, right? So v is equal to minus 60. So let us see, this distance is given as 50 centimeter. This is 20. So the image will be formed somewhere here, right? So the image will be formed somewhere here, right? At a distance 60 centimeter. But you also have to see the axis. This time the axis of both the mirrors are shifted. Okay. First let us see the magnification. See, m is equal to minus v by u, right? M is equal to minus v by u, that is minus of minus 60 divided by minus 20, and that is equal to minus 2. So the value of m is minus 2, right? So that means if the height of the object from the axis, this is the height of the object from the axis, is 2 millimeter, then the height of the image will be, so this is equal to height of image by height of object. So the height of image will be minus 4 millimeter. That means if object is above the axis, the image will be below the axis, right? So the image will be below the axis. So this is 60 centimeter. The image is formed at a distance 60 centimeter from this, but it is below the axis and at 4 millimeter. So this is the image. Now this image is object for this, right? But the axis for this mirror, is here. The axis for this mirror is here. So if this is 4 millimeter, this is 2 millimeter. Now the new height of the object according to this axis is 6 millimeter. Okay. So the height of the object according to this axis is 6 millimeter. So this I1 is object for this mirror, right? So you will write for the convex mirror, u is plus 10. Why? Because this object is virtual. So I will write it here, I1 acts as virtual object for the convex mirror. I1 acts, because it is behind the mirror, I1 acts as virtual object for the second mirror, and that second mirror is convex mirror. Virtual object for the second mirror, and the second mirror is a convex mirror. You can see from the diagram it is a convex mirror, okay, because light will strike on this part, right? So u will be equal to 10 centimeter. Why? Because this is 60, this is 50, so this is 10. F is equal to plus 20 this time because it is a convex mirror. So I'll write u is equal to plus 10, f is equal to plus 20. So v is equal to uf by u minus f, and that will be equal to 10 into 20 divided by 10 minus 20, and that will be equal to 200 by minus 10. That is v is equal to minus 20, and m is equal to, v is equal to minus 20, and m is equal to how much? M is equal to minus of minus 20 divided by 10. So you will get 2. M is equal to 2, that means hi is equal to 2 times ho. Now ho is 6, so hi will be 12 millimeter, and plus means erect. Okay, so that means the final image will be formed at a distance of minus 20 centimeter. Minus means real image is formed. Okay, so minus means in front, so this will be minus 20, I think somewhere around here. If this is 20, somewhere around here, right? So this is the final image, and it is at a distance. So see, this was this was 6 millimeter. Now this image will be here at a distance of 20 centimeter and 12 millimeter in height. Object was downwards, image will also downwards. Why? Because it is erect. So this distance, this length is 12 millimeter. Okay. So you have to be very careful about the position of the axis. For this mirror, axis is this line, so heights are measured from this line. But for this mirror, axis is this line, so the heights will be measured from this line. Okay. So if you are careful about this, then you will be able to solve the problem easily. Now they have asked the image, final image after 2 successive reflection, and we have done that. For first reflection, this was the image, and this image acted as the object for this, and for the second reflection, then this was the image. Right. Okay. Now let us look at the next thing, and that is longitudinal magnification. So it is not necessary that every time the object is placed perpendicular to the axis. It is possible that the object is placed along the axis, right? Object might be placed along the axis also. Okay. So if one dimensional object is placed along the principal axis, so if the object is placed along the principal axis, then the magnification in this object is called the longitudinal magnification. Okay, one was transverse or lateral magnification, and this is longitudinal magnification. So longitudinal magnification means magnification along the axis. So this is magnification along the axis. This is magnification along the axis, right? So the magnification along the axis is equal to the size of the image divided by the size of the object, right? Okay. Suppose this is the object AB which is placed along the axis. Okay. And suppose this is the image A dash B dash. Then this distance is U1. This distance is U2. So the length of the object is U1 minus U2, right? The length of the object is U1 minus U2. Similarly here, this length is V1. See, for A the image is A dash, for B the image is B dash, right? So this length is V1 and this length is V2. So the length of the image is V1 minus V2, right? So the longitudinal magnification is size of image by size of object, and that is equal to, you can write U1 minus U2 divided by V1 minus V2. Alright. Now listen carefully. An image formed from a mirror or from any spherical mirror is always longitudinally inverted. That is why we have written a minus sign here. Image is always longitudinally inverted. Image is always longitudinally inverted from a plane, from a spherical mirror. Whether it is concave or convex, it will always be longitudinally inverted. That means if object is towards right, image will be towards left. That is necessary. Okay. So here, suppose the object is of small size. If the object is of small size, in that case, U1 minus U2 or U2 minus U1, whatever, you can write U1 minus U2 as du, because the object is of small size. So the difference between the means two ends of the object will be very small. That is differentially small. So you will write U1 minus U2 as du. Similarly, here you will write V1 minus V2 is dV. Okay, in that case the magnification becomes minus of dV by du. Okay, and you know that 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. If you differentiate this, what will you get? If you differentiate this, you will get, see, 1 by X differentiation is what? The differentiation of 1 by X is minus 1 by X square dx. So similarly here the differentiation of 1 by V will be minus 1 by V square dV. Similarly, the differentiation of 1 by U is minus 1 by U square du, and focus is a constant. Focus of a mirror is constant because mirror is constant, the radius is constant. So differentiation of a constant is 0. From this you will get dV by du is equal to minus V square by U square, and dV by du is called longitudinal magnification. dv by du is called, here there is no minus here, dv by du is called longitudinal magnification. dv by du is called longitudinal magnification of a short linear object. So I will write here, dv by du represent magnification of a short linear object. dv by du represent magnification of a short linear object placed along the principal axis. dv by du represent the magnification of a short linear object placed along the principal axis. Okay, I will repeat it again. See, 1 by v plus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f. When you differentiate this, you get minus 1 by v square dv minus 1 by u square du is equal to 0. From this you get dv by du, that is the longitudinal magnification, Lm, is equal to minus v square by u square. Just take this right towards the right hand side and then bring du to the denominator and v square to the numerator. You will get dv by du is equal to minus v square by u square. This can also be written as minus of minus v by u whole square. But minus of v by u whole square is what? M. So you will also write dv by du is equal to minus m square. M can also be written as f by f minus u. So minus of f by f minus u. So this is the relation of dv by du. This is very, very important. This is very important, the relation between dv and du. Now mathematically dv and du can be two things. Listen carefully. Mathematically dv and du can be two things. Okay, see, I've written here, mathematically du and dv can represent or can signify, first, small shift in the position of object and position of image respectively. So du can be represented as a small shift in the position of object and dv can be represented as a small change in the position of image. But we have seen here that du and dv can also be represented as a short linear object or the size of a short linear object and its image along the principal axis. So when the object is placed along the principal axis, then if AB is very small, that is the object length is very small, in that case du can be said as the object length and dv can be said as the image length, right? So I'll do some problem so that you understand this better. See, in this question you have a short linear object, of length b. So you have a short linear object. So this is a short object and it is lying along the axis of the concave mirror and the focus is f. If it is lying along the axis, that means there will be longitudinal magnification, right? And it is given that this distance is u1 and this distance is u2. Okay, we need to find the approximate size of the image. Okay, so you know that u2 minus u1 is b, right? We know that longitudinal magnification is dv by du. dv by du can represent longitudinal magnification. We know that dv by du can represent longitudinal magnification of a short linear object, right? So dv by du can represent magnification of a short linear object. Okay, or you can say dv by du can represent longitudinal magnification of a short linear object, and we know that this is equal to minus m square, right? And this is equal to minus f by f minus u whole square. So you will get dv by du is equal to minus, now what is the focus? The focus is f, divide means if you want to put it with proper sign, then you have to put it with negative sign, divided by f minus u. Now what is u? See, what is u? What I will write here is the average value, because this b is very small, so I will assume that this average distance is u1 only. Okay, so you can write it as u1 or u2 also, because this b is very small, so u1 is nearly equal to u2. So I'll write f minus minus 1. right? Because I put u1 with proper sign. You have to put f also with proper sign. Okay, suppose f is given as 20, then you will put here f is minus 20 because it is a concave mirror. Okay, so this is the approximate size of the image. No, this is not the approximate size, this is the longitudinal magnification. So this dV is what? Size of image. They have asked you this. And this du is what? Size of object. Right? So they have asked you size of image, and size of object is given as b. So size of image is equal to minus f by f minus u1 whole square into size of object, that is. So this is the size of image, right? Now I'll do one question, and with the help of this question I will explain everything that is possible, or every type of question that can be asked using longitudinal magnification of a short linear object. Okay, so suppose you have object here, okay, and I will use f is equal to 20 centimeter and this object distance is 30 centimeter. This is a concave mirror. Okay, I am solving for a concave mirror, right? So here u is equal to minus 30 centimeter and f is equal to minus 20 centimeter. When you solve this, you will get v is equal to minus 60 centimeter and m is equal to minus of minus 60 by minus 30, and that is equal to minus 2, right? So once you have got the value of magnification, now what are the questions that are asked? Let us see. Find the shift in position of image. Find the shift in position of image. Now in this question there is a lot of theory also, so please listen carefully. Find the shift in position of image, right? Find the shift in position of image if object shifts by 1 millimeter. If object shifts towards right by 1 millimeter. Okay, so if object shift towards right by 1 millimeter, then what is the shift in the position of the image? You know that dv is dv by du is equal to minus m square, right? And mathematically I have told you again, if you remember, du and dv can represent small shift in the position of object and image respectively, right? So dv divided by du is 1 into m is minus 2, so minus 2 square is 4. So that means the shift in image is minus 4 millimeter. Now what do you mean by minus? What do you mean by minus? Because m square is a positive quantity. So shift in object and shift in image will always be in opposite direction. So the negative sign means, this is the theory A, listen carefully. The negative sign means that shift in object and image is in opposite direction, always there will be a shift in opposite direction. If object is shifted towards right, image will shift towards left. If object is shifted towards left, image will shift towards right. So negative means that shift in object and image is in opposite direction. That means if object is shifted towards right, image shifts towards left, and vice versa, okay. Now there is one more way of representing this, listen carefully. See, suppose image is real. If image is real, in that case what will you say? Listen carefully. Image is real, that means that the image is in front side, right? Okay, so image is in front side. If this is object, this is image, for example. Okay, image will be in front side only. Okay, for real objects I am discussing. Okay, so if object shifts towards pole, image will shift away from pole. Why? Because they have to move in opposite direction. So if object is shifting towards pole, the image will shift away from pole. This is object, this is image, because they have to move in opposite direction. Similarly, if object shifts away from pole, then image will shift towards pole. Okay, so the basic thing is when object move towards right, image will move towards left, right? And similarly, if object move towards left, image move towards right. That is the basic thing. But sometimes it is also represented like this. If image is real, if the object is moving towards the pole, not right left, they are saying object is moving towards the pole, then the image will move away from the pole. Similarly, if the object is moving away from the pole, the image will move toward the pole. But this is for a real image. What happens for a virtual image? Listen carefully. If image is virtual, in that case, what will happen? If image is virtual, in that case, what will happen? See, this is F, this is 2F, right? So image is virtual when the object is inside the focus, right? So suppose this is the object along, because we are now talking about longitudinal magnification, that is why we will take the object like this, right? Okay. So in this case, the image form will be virtual, so it will be like this. But you know that the image is always longitudinally inverted. So if this is the object, this is the image. All right. Now listen carefully. Now in this case, if the object object moves towards pole, see, the basic thing is when object moves towards right, image moves towards left, right? So here the object moves towards pole, the image will also move towards pole. Why? Because this time the image is virtual, and the for directions to be opposite, if this is moving towards right, this has to move towards left, right? So if this is moving towards right, this has to move towards left. That means if this is moving towards pole, image is also moving towards pole. So in this case, when the image is virtual, if the object moves towards the pole, then image moves towards the pole only. Image moves towards pole. So you have to check whether the image formed is real or virtual. In our case, in this example, the image form was real. In this example, the image form was real because V was negative. Image formed was here, right? So that is why in this case, when object is moving or shifting towards pole, image will shift away from pole. But if the image would have been virtual, then if the object shifts towards pole, image shifts towards pole. Similarly, if the object moves away from pole, if the object moves away from pole, image moves away from pole. Image also moves away from pole. So if the object moves here, the image will move here. Okay, the direction has to be opposite. That is what has to be in your mind. Okay, because we have seen that dv is equal to minus m square du. This means what? This minus means what? That means dv and du has to be in opposite direction. Shift in image has to be opposite to shift in object every time. Okay, I will write it again. If you forget, I will write it again. See, dv is equal to minus m square du. This minus shows that because m square is a positive number, it is a squared number. So dv is equal to minus du shows that if that shift, this minus shows that shift in image is opposite to shift in object. Is opposite to shift in object. Whether the mirror is convex or concave, whatever, m is greater than 1, less than 1, whatever. Every time the shift in image is opposite to shift in object. Yes. Okay. So in this question, what was asked, find the shift in position of image if the object shifts to right by 1 millimeter. So that means object was shifting towards pole, image was shifting towards left, or you can say away from pole, and with a speed, or you can say with 4 millimeter. Object shifted by only 1 millimeter, but image shifted by 4 millimeter, right? Okay. Now, in the same question, if the size of the object is given, then we need to find the size of the image, right? So again, you will use the same formula. dv is equal to minus m square du is used everywhere. Here, dv can represent shift in position of object and image. dv can also represent size of image of a short linear object which is placed along the principal axis. Okay. So suppose in this question now, in the same question it is given, find the size of image. Find the size of image if size of object is 1 millimeter. Size of object is 1 millimeter along the axis, right? So dv is equal to minus m square du. So dv represents size of image because object size is very small compared to the very small compared to the size of the means the distance between the pole and the object. Okay, so that means object distance is very large compared to the size of the object. In that case, you can use this relation. So dv is size of image is equal to minus m was minus 2, we have already calculated. So minus 2 square is 4 into du is 1, right? See, the size of object is 1 millimeter. Okay, that means size of image is minus 4 millimeter. Size of image is minus 4 millimeter. Okay, and then the longitudinal magnification is how much? What is the longitudinal magnification? The longitudinal magnification is equal to minus 4. Why? Because size of image divided by size of object is minus 4, and longitudinal magnification is always negative. An image is always longitudinally inverted. Image is always longitudinally inverted. Okay, whenever we find longitudinal magnification, there is one more thing that is very important and you should understand, is that the object should not pass through the focus. Okay, I've written it here also. Note, the focus should not lie in the between the initial and final position of the object. What does this mean? Okay, I'll draw it here. What does this mean? I'll draw it here. Listen carefully. I'll draw it here. See, the focus is here. Suppose the object is like this. Object is placed like this. Then this part of the object will form a real image. This part will form a real image. And this part will form a virtual image. Because this is inside the focus, right? So in that case, what will happen is you will not be able to measure the size of the image. Why? Because this part will give image in this side and this part will give image in this side. So we will not be able to measure the size of the image by V2 minus V1. Understood? So that is why whenever you calculate the longitudinal magnification, you should make sure that the object is not such that the focus lie in between. Okay, or you can say that the object should not pass through the focus. Okay, so in simple words I will write here, object should not pass through the focus. Object should not pass through the focus. Okay, now one more question that we can do here that is very important is, listen carefully now. This time we will not use a short object, we will use a larger object. So if there is a larger object, then you cannot use dv is equal to minus m square du. But you can still use longitudinal magnification is equal to minus of v2 minus v1 divided by u1 minus u2. Okay, I'll show you. Right? Okay. So we will do this with the help of one question. Okay, I'll show you one problem of longitudinal magnification. Suppose this is f, this is 2f. Okay, so you have an object whose size is equal to f by 3. An object of size f by 3, where f is the focus of the concave mirror. Okay, so object of size f by 3 is placed along the axis of a concave mirror. is placed along the axis of a concave mirror. Okay, it is placed along the axis of a concave mirror of focus f. So the object is placed along the axis of a concave mirror of focus f such that, listen carefully now, such that one end of the image, one end of the image is on the object itself. One end of the image is on the object itself. Okay, then find the longitudinal magnification. Find the longitudinal magnification if A, image formed is erect, sorry, image formed is magnified. B, image formed is diminished. Okay, now first thing that you should know here is, listen carefully, if an object, or you can say if image is laterally, if image is laterally magnified, if image is laterally magnified, it is also longitudinally magnified. It is also longitudinally magnified. So if an object is or you can say if an image is laterally magnified, it is also longitudinally magnified. That means beyond 2f the image will be longitudinally diminished, and between f and 2f the image will be longitudinally magnified, same as lateral magnification. Okay, now what is given in the question, let us read again. So the object size is f by 3, but it is placed in such a way that one end of the object coincides with its image, right? That means one end of the object is at 2f. Why? Because if object is at 2f, image is at 2f, right? So I will draw it like this, one end of the object is at 2f. Now let us first look at case A, when the image is magnified. Now when the image is magnified, in that case the object has to be between 2f and f, right? So that is why I will draw the object like this. Okay, so this is the size of the object, that is f by 3. So I will say this distance is u1 and that is equal to 2f, and this distance is u2 and that is equal to, so this distance is u2 and that is equal to, see, if this length is 2f and this length is f by 3, then this length will be how much? 2f minus f by 3. So 2f minus f by 3 will be equal to how much? 6f minus f, that is 5f by 3. So this length will be 5f by 3. Okay, now see, for u1, what we will do? For u1 we will say u1 is equal to minus 2f. That means the object is placed at 2f, so the image will be at 2f. Okay, so this is the image. For u2 what will you say? For u2 you will say that u1 is equal to minus 5f by 3. Focus is minus f. Okay, I am putting it with sign, right? Then v is equal to uf by u minus f, that is v2, and that will be equal to, so this is u2, right? So u2 is minus 5f by 3 into minus f divided by u2 is again minus 5f by 3 minus of minus f, that is plus f, right? So from this we will get value of v2 as, see, you will get 5f by 3 divided by minus 5 plus 3 by 3. So from this you will get minus 2.5f. So you have got the value of v2. If I draw it in this diagram, the image, you will see that the value of v1 is 2f only. So this is v1. Okay, and the value of v2 is 2.5f. That means this is v2. So the value of v2 is 2.5f. 2.5f is obviously greater than 2f. Okay, so this is v2. v1 is 2f. So from here, you know that the longitudinal magnification is the size of image by size of object. So longitudinal magnification is the size of image by the size of object. So size of image divided by size of object, and size of image is V2 minus V1, that is equal to, I'll write minus here because you know that the image is always longitudinally inverted. You can see it in this diagram also. If the object is towards right, image is towards left, right? That is why an image is always longitudinally inverted. Every case you will get the same thing. An image is always longitudinally inverted, whether the mirror is concave or convex. So I'll write minus of V2 minus V1, that is 2.5 f minus 2f, divided by u2 minus u1, that is 2f minus 5f by 3, right? So from this you will get this is equal to 0.5f divided by 6f, or you can say f by 3. So the longitudinal magnification comes out to be 3 by 2. That means 3 by 2 times the size of object. Now case 2 or case B, when image is diminished. When image is diminished, in that case what will you do? When image is diminished, in that case what will you do? Let us see. So this is f, this is 2f. You know that one end of the object has to be at 2f because the object and image is coinciding at one point, and that one point has to be equal to 2f, right? So this is the position of the object, but because this time diminished image is to be formed, so the object has to be beyond 2f. So this time we will draw it like this, okay? And this length is f by 3. So this length will be how much? This length is suppose u2, and this is equal to 2f plus f by 3, that is 7f by 3. Okay, this distance is u1, and this is also equal to v1. Okay, but for image, this object will form an image here because object beyond 2f, image is between f and 2f, right? So this will be forming an image here. Okay, so this is the image. So we need to find the length of the image. So if this is u2, this is v2, right? The size of the image will be v1 minus v2, and the size of the object will be u2 minus u1. Okay, so size of object is actually, you know it already, size of object is f by 3, right? We just need to find the size of image. For that we first need to find v2. Again you will say v2 is equal to u2f divided by u2 minus f, right? And u2 is, you have to put with proper sign. U2 magnitude is 7f by 3, but with sign it will be minus 7f by 3. So I'll write minus 7f by 3 multiplied by f is minus f because it is a concave mirror, so the focus is negative, divided by u2 is again minus 7f by 3 minus of minus f because f is negative for a concave mirror. So from this you will get the value of v2 as minus becomes plus, that is 7f by 3 divided by 7f by 3. From there you will get 4 by 3. Okay, so that is, you will get v2 is equal to 7f by 4. Okay, so this is the value of v2. So v2 minus v1 will be how much, or you can say v1 minus v2 this time will be how much, because I am writing only the magnitude of the size of the image. You will get 2f minus 7f by 4, and that will be equal to f by 4. Okay, so this is the size of image. Now longitudinal magnification is size of image by size of object, that is f by 4 divided by f by 3. I am writing a minus here because you know that the image is always longitudinally inverted. Here diagram also you can see, this was object, this was image. Image is always longitudinally inverted, right? So this will be equal to minus 3 by 4. See, less than 1. Less than 1 means diminished, right? There is one more question which is very conceptual and will help you in understanding the concept of longitudinal magnification. See, you have a a concave mirror, and this is f, this is 2f. You have a rectangular you have a rectangular object like this, or it can be a square also. You have this, right? So you have this object, this is the object, you need to find the image. This is the object, you need to find the image. Okay, so you need to find the image of this. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay, so you know that the image will be between F and 2F. Why? Because the object is beyond 2F, and also the image is real. Why the image is real? Because this is a concave mirror, so the image is real, and real image is always inverted. That means if this is A, then if A here is at the means below the principal axis, in the image A will be above the principal axis and B will be below the principal axis, right? So and also the image is diminished. Why? Because the object is beyond 2F, right? So I will draw it like this. Listen carefully. So for AB, I am first drawing for AB, right? So this is, I am drawing for AB, and you know that the image is diminished, so I am drawing it smaller, right? And A will move upwards, so I will write it as A dash, and B will move downwards, I will write it as B dash, right? Also, an image is longitudinally inverted always. So if AB is towards left here, here the AB will be towards right. Okay, that means CD has to come towards left. So that means CD will be here, and CD also will be laterally inverted. So that means this will be D dash and this will be C dash, right? But one more thing here is, we know that as we move from infinity towards focus, the magnification keeps on increasing, right? So definitely CD will be more magnified compared to AB. So if this was AB, CD will be relatively more magnified. Yes, but it will still be diminished, but it will be more magnified compared to AB, right? So this will become D dash and this will become C dash, right? So the image formed will be a trapezium. So the image of a rectangle will be a trapezium. Okay, so this is a trapezium. Now, suppose the object is between F and 2F. So this time what we are doing is, the object is between F and 2F. So this is the object which is between F and 2F. So in this case, what will be the image? So this is A, B, C and D. So let us see what will be the position of image in this situation, right? So you know that the image is longitudinally inverted. That means if AB here is towards left, it will be towards right here and it will be magnified. So let us draw this AB. So this is AB, and also you know that the image is laterally inverted. That means this will become B dash. B was lower here, it will become above the principal axis. Here A was above the principal axis, now A dash will be below the principal axis, right? Also you know that the magnification keeps on increasing as we move towards the focus. So CD will definitely be more magnified. CD will be more magnified and CD will be to the right or left. See, you know that the image is longitudinally inverted. That means if here CD is towards right, here CD will be towards left, but it will actually become DC. If this was DC, then this will become CD. That means the image will be laterally inverted. So this is D here, so it will become C dash. This will become D dash. And CD will be more magnified compared to AB. So here also the image is a trapezium and it is magnified. Here it was diminished, here it is magnified. And you know that when the image is laterally magnified, it is also longitudinally magnified. That means the width will increase. Suppose this width is X, this width is Y. Y will be greater than X. Similarly here, suppose the width is X, this width is Y, then X will be greater than Y. Okay, because here the diminished image is formed. Alright. Now, velocity of image. So, velocity of image, we will discuss it under two heads. First is when the object is moving perpendicular to the principal axis. So, this object here is moving perpendicular to the principal axis. So, you know that if the object is moving perpendicular to the principal axis, that means the height is changing, right? So the height is changing. So you know that lateral magnification m is height of image divided by height of object. From here you get height of image is m times height of object, right? If you differentiate this, you will get dhi by dt. That means the rate at which height is changing of the image is equal to m times rate at which height of object is changing from the principal axis. Okay. So from here you will get dhi by dt is nothing but the velocity, and dho by dt is nothing but the velocity of object. Dhi by dt is the velocity of image, dho by dt is the velocity of object. So from this you will get the relation velocity of image is equal to m times velocity of object when the object is moving perpendicular to the principal axis, right? When the value of m is negative, then velocity of image is opposite to velocity of object. When the value of m is positive, that means image is erect. In that case, the direction of velocity of object and velocity of image. All right. And m can be written as f by f minus u, or m can be written as minus v by u. Right. But the second case is when the object is moving along the principal axis. When the object is moving along the principal axis, in that case, the value of u is changing. If the value of u is changing, that means value of v is also changing, right? So if value of u is changing, value of v is also changing. That means the value of m is also changing, right? So if the value of m is changing, in this type of question, they can ask you velocity of image at a particular instant, because at every instant the velocity of object, the velocity of image will change. Why? Because m will change. So they will ask you this time the velocity of image at a particular instant. Now listen carefully. We have discussed that dv is equal to minus m square du by differentiating. Just what you have to do is just write dv by dt is equal to minus m square du by dt. Now what is dv by dt? dv by dt is rate of change of position of image, and du by dt is what? Rate of change of position of object. That means you will write velocity of image is equal to minus m square velocity of object. Okay, so I'll write here velocity of image is equal to minus m square velocity of object. But there is one more thing that you should understand here. This velocity of image is velocity of image with respect to the pole. It might happen that the pole is also moving, right? The pole is also moving. The mirror is also moving towards left or right, right? The object distance not only depends on the object, it also depends on the pole. So if the pole is moving, then you have to write the velocity of image here is velocity of image with respect to the pole, and here it is the velocity of object with respect to the pole. All right. Okay. So here on differentiating the mirror formula, we get dv by dt is equal to minus v square by u square du by dt, and minus this v square by u square can be written as minus m square. Okay, where dv by dt is the velocity of image. I have told you dv by dt is the velocity of the image along the principal axis, and du by dt is the velocity of the object along the principal axis. Negative sign here implies that the velocity of image is always velocity of always opposite to the velocity of object, right? So I'll write here what is this negative sign meaning. Negative sign means that longitudinally, because along the axis if the body is moving or of the object is moving, that means it is longitudinal motion, right? So longitudinally what will you say? Longitudinally, velocity of image is always opposite to velocity of object with respect to mirror or with respect to pole. Always opposite to velocity of object with respect to pole. Okay. So when the object is moving laterally, that is perpendicular to the principal axis, in that case the object or the image can move either opposite to object, or you can say it can move along the object, depending on whether the image formed is inverted or erect. But an image is always longitudinally inverted. That is why always the object will move opposite to image, right, in case of longitudinal motion. Okay. Now what happens if there is both longitudinal as well as lateral motion? That means the motion is at some angle. So suppose the motion here is, suppose the velocity of object is u at an angle theta. in that case what you will do is you will resolve the velocity into two components. This one is u cos theta and this one is u sin theta, right? And u sin theta you will use the first case, this one, vi is equal to mvo, and u cos theta you will use the second case, that is vi is equal to minus m square vo square. Okay, at this position, using the mirror formula, you can calculate the value of m, where m is what? F by f minus u. Okay, now let us do one question here. See, find the velocity of image in the situation shown in the figure. So this object here is moving with speed 15 meter per second at an angle 53 degree. So first I will write u perpendicular is how much? U perpendicular is 15 sine 53 degree, that is 4 by 5. So u perpendicular is 12 meter per second. Similarly, u parallel will be 15 into cos 53 degree, that is 3 by 5. You will get 9 meter per second. Okay, so I have got the perpendicular component of the velocity and the parallel component of the velocity, right? Now for perpendicular component, you know that velocity of image is m times velocity of object, right? When the focus is 20 centimeter and the object distance is 30 centimeter, in that case when you use mirror formula, you will get v is equal to minus 60 and m is equal to minus 2. Okay, you can use the mirror formula. By now we have done so many questions using the mirror formula. So once you get m is equal to minus 2, you will say velocity of image is equal to minus 2 times velocity of object, and this is what? In the perpendicular direction. Now in the perpendicular direction the velocity is 12 meter per second. So you will write velocity of image is minus 2 times the velocity of object, that is minus 24 meter per second. So that means the image is moving downwards. Object moving upward, image moving downwards in the perpendicular direction with a speed of 24 meter per second. Now comes the along or the longitudinal part. Now in the longitudinal part, because this mirror is also moving, so I will write velocity of object with respect to mirror is equal to, this velocity component is 9 and this is 2. So I will write 9 minus minus 2, that is 11 meter per second. And you know that velocity of image with respect to mirror is minus m square times velocity of object with respect to mirror. Now m is minus 2, m square is 4. So you will get minus 4 multiplied by 11, that is minus 44 meter per second. But this is the velocity of image with respect to the mirror. We need the velocity of image. So what I will write here is, this is Vi minus Vm, right? And the value of Vm is how much? The value of Vm is minus 2. Why? Because it is moving towards left. So I'll write this as Vi minus minus 2, that is Vi plus 2 is equal to minus 44 meter per second. So Vi will be equal to minus 46 meter per second. Okay, and this is along the x-axis. So I will write the final velocity as, if this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, then final velocity of the image will be, see, along the x-axis it is minus 46 I cap, and along the y-axis it is again negative minus 24 j cap meter per second. So this is the velocity. With this we have come to the end of today's class. In today's class we have studied about the velocity of image, the longitudinal magnification, and we have also done some problems regarding spherical mirrors. Okay, so with this we have completed spherical mirrors, and in the next class we will be starting with refraction through plane surface. Right? Till then, stay tuned, and if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel.